In life, we frequently find ourselves at a crossroads, faced with the choice of either following the crowd or forging our own path. It is natural to feel drawn toward the majority, as there is a certain comfort and security in numbers. When everyone around us is making the same decision, it can create the illusion that their choice must be the right one. After all, if so many people are doing something, it must be safe, effective, and beneficial, right? However, blindly following the crowd is not always the best approach. While it may provide temporary reassurance, it can also be incredibly limiting, preventing us from realizing our full potential and making decisions that truly align with our values and aspirations. True growth and success often come from independent thought and the willingness to step outside of conventional norms. Here's why blindly following the crowd can be detrimental and why cultivating independent thinking is crucial for personal and professional fulfillment. 1. You lose your individuality. When you follow the crowd, you gradually start to conform to the opinions, behaviors, and expectations of others, often without fully realizing the extent to which it shapes your thoughts and actions. At first, it may seem harmless agreeing with popular opinions, dressing according to current trends, pursuing careers that society deems successful, or making life choices that align with what the majority believes is right. However, over time, this conformity can erode your sense of self, making it difficult to distinguish between what you truly want and what you have been conditioned to desire. You begin prioritizing external validation over personal fulfillment, seeking approval from others rather than listening to your inner voice. The more you conform, the more you suppress your unique thoughts, ideas, and perspectives, until eventually, you may find yourself living a life that does not truly belong to you. Your originality, creativity, and individual passions become overshadowed by the need to fit in, leaving little room for self-exploration or personal expression. Instead of pursuing your own dreams, you may follow paths that others have laid out for you, believing that success and happiness lie in meeting societal expectations rather than in following your own authentic desires. This loss of individuality can manifest in many ways, from making career choices based on what is considered prestigious rather than what genuinely excites you, to adopting opinions that align with the majority even when they contradict your true beliefs. It can affect the way you interact with the world, shaping your choices in relationships, lifestyle, and personal values. You may find yourself engaging in activities you do not enjoy, maintaining friendships that do not fulfill you, or suppressing aspects of your personality in order to be more socially accepted. The pressure to conform can be especially strong in environments where standing out is discouraged, whether in school, at work, or within cultural and family expectations. Over time, you may begin to lose confidence in your ability to think independently, doubting your instincts and hesitating to voice your true opinions out of fear of judgment or rejection. The more you blend into the crowd, the more difficult it becomes to rediscover who you truly are. You may wake up one day realizing that you have spent years living according to someone else's script, making choices based on what was expected of you, rather than what would have truly made you happy. This can lead to feelings of emptiness, dissatisfaction, or even regret, as you begin to question whether you ever really lived for yourself. The loss of individuality does not happen overnight. It is a gradual process that occurs when the desire for acceptance outweighs the courage to be different. Yet, the most fulfilling lives are often those that embrace uniqueness, allowing individuals to carve their own paths rather than follow the ones dictated by society. When you stop following the crowd and start embracing your own thoughts, passions, and dreams, you open yourself up to a world of possibilities that are truly your own, free from the limitations imposed by conformity. 2. The crowd isn't always right. Just because many people believe or do something does not mean it is the right choice. Yet, throughout history, people have often assumed that the majority must be correct simply because of its size and influence. However, history is full of examples where large groups of people collectively made poor decisions, sometimes with devastating consequences. Entire societies have supported harmful ideologies, oppressive systems, and misguided movements, only to realize later that what was once widely accepted was fundamentally flawed or even morally wrong. Wars have been fought, injustices have been upheld, and harmful practices have persisted simply because people followed the crowd without questioning the validity of their choices. Trends and popular opinions, no matter how widespread, do not guarantee wisdom or truth, as what is fashionable today may be outdated or even condemned tomorrow. Ideas that were once seen as progressive have at times led to unintended negative consequences, and social norms that were once unquestioned have later been challenged and overturned. This is why thinking critically and making informed decisions is crucial, rather than blindly accepting what is popular or widely believed. When people fail to think for themselves, they risk being swayed by propaganda, misinformation, or the fear of standing out. It is easy to go along with what everyone else is doing, to avoid controversy, or to seek the comfort of belonging, but true wisdom comes from examining issues independently, questioning assumptions, and considering the long-term consequences of a belief or action. The ability to think critically allows individuals to break free from the limitations of groupthink and make choices based on reason, logic, and evidence, rather than peer pressure or emotional influence. While social trends and collective opinions can sometimes reflect positive progress, they should never be accepted without scrutiny, as history has repeatedly shown that the majority is not always right. The greatest thinkers, innovators, and leaders have often been those who dared to challenge prevailing ideas and stand against popular opinion in pursuit of truth, justice, and meaningful change. 3. You may regret it later. If you always follow the crowd without questioning, you might find yourself in situations that do not truly align with your values, beliefs, or long-term goals, yet many people unknowingly fall into this trap because they assume that if a majority is doing something, it must be the right path. This mindset can influence major life decisions, from choosing a career that seems prestigious or financially stable rather than one that genuinely fulfills you, to making financial choices based on societal expectations rather than your own needs and aspirations. It can also affect personal relationships, leading people to stay in friendships, romantic partnerships, or social circles that do not bring them genuine happiness or personal growth simply because they feel pressured to conform. Over time, living according to what others expect rather than what you truly desire can result in deep dissatisfaction, regret, and a sense of unfulfillment. As you may wake up one day realizing that the life you have built is not actually the one you wanted, but rather one shaped by external pressures and societal norms. Many individuals find themselves stuck in careers they never truly enjoyed, burdened by financial decisions they made simply because they followed trends or trapped in lifestyles that do not reflect their true passions and values. The fear of standing out or going against the norm can be powerful, but blindly following others without considering your own unique path can ultimately lead to a life filled with missed opportunities and unfulfilled potential. Instead of making choices based on what everyone else is doing, it is crucial to take a step back, reflect on what truly matters to you, and have the courage to forge your own path, even if it means going against conventional wisdom or facing temporary uncertainty. True success and happiness come not from blindly adhering to popular trends, but from making decisions that are aligned with your personal goals, values, and vision for the future. Innovation and progress have always been driven by individuals who dare to think differently, challenge conventional norms, and break away from traditional ways of doing things. Throughout history, the greatest advancements in science, technology, art, and philosophy have come from those who refused to conform to popular beliefs and instead chose to explore new possibilities and question established ideas. If everyone simply followed the crowd and adhered to the same patterns of thought, nothing truly groundbreaking or extraordinary would ever be created. Society would remain stagnant, repeating the same cycles without growth or evolution. True progress requires individuals who are willing to take risks, embrace uncertainty, and push beyond the boundaries of what is considered normal or acceptable. By stepping away from the majority and choosing to think for yourself, you open the door to endless possibilities. You allow yourself the freedom to explore new ideas, develop unique skills, and cultivate creativity in ways that would not be possible if you were confined by the limitations of groupthink. When you stop worrying about fitting in and start focusing on what genuinely interests and excites you, you begin to discover new perspectives and ways of solving problems that others may have overlooked. This willingness to think independently does not mean rejecting everything that is popular, but rather critically evaluating whether widely accepted ideas truly make sense and align with your own reasoning and understanding. Some of the most influential figures in history, from scientists like Albert Einstein and Nikola Tesla to entrepreneurs like Steve Jobs and Elon Musk, achieved greatness because they were willing to challenge norms and think outside the box. They did not settle for doing things the way they had always been done, but instead sought better, more efficient, and more innovative ways to approach challenges and create value for the world. The same principle applies on a personal level. When you choose to step away from the crowd and carve your own path, you not only foster personal growth, but also contribute something valuable and unique to society. Whether it is through creative expression, technological advancements, or new ways of thinking, the courage to be different is what drives true innovation and lasting change. Following the crowd often means constantly seeking validation from others because when you conform to popular opinions, behaviors, and expectations, you gain a sense of acceptance and belonging. But this need for approval can become a trap that prevents you from developing your own independent thoughts and making choices that truly align with your values and desires. Over time, this reliance on external validation can make you afraid of standing out, expressing unique opinions, or taking risks that might be different from what the majority believes or does. Instead of trusting your own instincts and reasoning, you may find yourself hesitating before making decisions, wondering how others will perceive you, or fearing the possibility of rejection or criticism. This fear can be paralyzing, causing you to suppress your individuality and settle for a life dictated by societal norms rather than one shaped by your own aspirations. However, true confidence does not come from blending in or being accepted by others. It comes from developing a strong sense of self, knowing your own worth, and trusting your ability to navigate life on your own terms. When you stop seeking approval and start focusing on what genuinely matters to you, you become more resilient, more self-assured, and less dependent on the ever-changing opinions of those around you. Confidence is built through experience, self-awareness, and the willingness to take responsibility for your choices. It grows when you learn to listen to your own voice rather than constantly looking to others for guidance or reassurance. The truth is, no matter how much you try to please others, you will never be able to satisfy everyone because opinions are subjective and constantly shifting. If you base your self-worth on external validation, you will always be chasing approval and adjusting yourself to fit different expectations, which can be exhausting and unfulfilling. The most liberating thing you can do is to let go of the need for validation and embrace the courage to be yourself. When you learn to trust your own judgment and make choices based on what feels right for you, rather than what is popular or widely accepted, you experience a newfound sense of freedom and inner peace. This does not mean ignoring constructive feedback or refusing to learn from others, but rather developing the ability to filter out unnecessary noise and focus on what truly resonates with you. At the end of the day, true confidence is not about being liked or admired by others, but about having the inner strength to stand by your beliefs, pursue your goals, and live authentically regardless of external opinions. 6. The crowd can lead you astray. Peer pressure is a powerful force that can push people into making decisions they might not otherwise consider if they were thinking independently. When surrounded by a group that promotes certain behaviors, beliefs, or trends, it can be incredibly difficult to resist the urge to conform, even if deep down you know that what you are doing is not in line with your true values or long-term well-being. This pressure can manifest in many ways. From engaging in unhealthy habits like excessive drinking, smoking, or reckless behavior, to following unethical trends that may seem acceptable simply because they are widely practiced, or even ignoring your personal values for the sake of fitting in. Whether it is in a social setting, at work, or within your community, the fear of being judged, excluded, or criticized often makes people follow along rather than challenge what is happening around them. However, the danger of giving in to peer pressure is that it can lead to regret and a sense of losing oneself. Over time, the more you compromise your beliefs for the sake of acceptance, the harder it becomes to recognize what truly matters to you. This is why learning to stand firm in your beliefs and making choices based on your own judgment is one of the most important skills you can develop. Resisting peer pressure is not about being stubborn or refusing to listen to others, but rather about developing the ability to think critically, assess situations independently, and make decisions that align with your personal values and long-term goals. So, what should you do instead of blindly following the crowd? The first step is to think for yourself. Rather than accepting everything you see and hear at face value, take the time to analyze and question whether something truly makes sense. Just because an idea or action is popular does not necessarily mean it is right, logical, or beneficial to you. Many of the greatest thinkers and innovators in history were those who dared to challenge the status quo and think independently. Instead of simply following trends, they examined situations critically, made informed decisions, and paved their own paths. Another crucial step is to know your values and make decisions based on what truly matters to you. It is easy to be swayed by external influences if you do not have a strong foundation of what you believe in. But when you are clear about your principles and priorities, you can use them as a guide to navigate difficult choices instead of being influenced by temporary social pressures. Ask yourself what kind of person you want to be and what values you want to uphold. These will serve as anchors, helping you stay grounded even when you feel pressure to conform. It is also important to be open-minded, but not easily swayed. While it is valuable to listen to different perspectives and consider new ideas, you should not abandon your own judgment simply because others hold a different opinion. Learning to strike a balance between being receptive to new information and standing firm in your beliefs allows you to grow without losing yourself in the process. Not all popular opinions are wrong, but they should be evaluated with a critical mind before being adopted. Perhaps one of the hardest yet most essential things to do is to be willing to stand alone. Sometimes staying true to yourself means going against the crowd, which can be uncomfortable and even isolating. But it is often necessary for personal integrity and long-term happiness. Many of the most successful people in the world have had moments where they stood alone in their beliefs before others recognized their vision. Being different is not a weakness, but a strength that allows you to carve your own path rather than simply blending in with the masses. Following the crowd might feel comfortable and safe, but it rarely leads to greatness. True success and fulfillment come from being authentic and making choices that align with who you truly are. While there may be times when conformity is easy or tempting, it is important to remember that real confidence and satisfaction come from knowing you are living in alignment with your values. When you embrace your individuality, trust your own judgment, and refuse to let external pressures dictate your decisions, you create a life that is meaningful, fulfilling, and truly your own.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.